So accessing millennials. We're obviously online, we're obviously in stores, and the thing that I think that's really important to discuss here is the story. So to tell you guys a bit about my background and how I started my portfolio, Amy knows this way too well because we went to Italy together, and I've basically been building my portfolio for over 1.5 years at this point. And the reason that it's taken me so long is because initially I thought I was going to do the regular type of importing where you go to a trade show, you meet some wines, you think they taste good, and that's kind of it. But as I was starting to build my digital strategy, after I had chosen a few wines, I realized that there wasn't a story there. And I realized that in actually going through and marketing these wines, I was not going to be doing any services, I was not going to be doing anything good for my consumers, and it was going to be actually a lot harder for me to sell. So what I focus on when I look for producers is I'm not just looking at, if they have, obviously it needs to taste amazing. That's the very first thing, no matter what. But beyond that, do they actually have a story? And every vineyard does in some capacity. It's just about how you package it and how you distribute it to your potential consumers. So one thing that I always look at when I'm looking at a potential producer is I'll go onto their social media and I'll kind of see, is this something that already exists? Do they already have, they don't even need to have a large following. That doesn't matter at all. Actually, sometimes it's even better because then when someone discovers it, they feel even cooler about it initially. But this is like an example that I have from one of the producers I met at Von Italy this year that I'm going to be bringing in later this year. And it just continues to harp on this idea of authenticity, of the story of where did this wine come from. So if I was at the store, again, this is not Moldovan obviously, but if I was at the store and I wanted to go look up Il Monte Caro, I'm going to go in and I'm going to realize that I'm in love with this dude because he found a bunny on his vineyard, and that's amazing, and I really want to buy this wine now, and I don't care that it's $10 more than what I wanted to pay because look at him, he's so cute. And that's literally the thought process that happens when people are consuming this. So when you're thinking about who you're going to bring in, or if you already have, producers that you're working with, it's important that you guys kind of work together to get this story going, because if you don't have it, it's going to be a lot harder to initially get and then retain your clientele. Another point that I also want to sort of debunk is people always say that millennials are not brand loyal, and that's true. We're not like, my mom goes to Costco, buys a giant case of Kim Crawford, goes home, and that's it, that's all she drinks, and that's fine. And what they say is that millennials are not brand loyal, but that's actually, I would say, incredibly false. Millennials are 2 times more likely to actually follow a brand than a baby boomer is. And that just means that they essentially are going to stick with you after. So even though they're looking for new experiences, once they're integrated into some sort of story that you've essentially built for them, you are going to have a lifelong customer if you've done it correctly. So that's why I said at the beginning, it's important when we talk about acquiring millennial customers. When I say convert, I don't just mean, woo, they got the bottle of wine, that's it. Maybe they'll go back and buy it again. I mean, they're going to be interacting with you. They're going to be commenting on, your Instagram and saying, hey, this is amazing. They may go to the vineyards. It's just really, really crucial that you actually incorporate them into what's going on with the wine. And what's so interesting about this opportunity, and why I said initially that, everyone hates the millennials on their cell phone, is that for this industry, that could not be better, because with a product that you can't actually try before you buy it, the only things you have are what the label looks like and then whatever information they can find out about it. So the more you have online about it, the more likely they are going to be able to buy it. So that's just an opportunity that didn't ever really exist before, and it's something that if you're not utilizing it, then you're missing a really great opportunity to continue to build brand loyalty and ultimately initially make sales. And if you're an importer looking to find distributors or whatever, this is This is another one of those points that's also amazing, because if you have a great digital media strategy and you have some of these things going on, that makes you a really great partner. So if you're a producer, doing this stuff is really important. If you're an importer, finding people that are doing this, or finding the ones that you already love and having them kind of helping them start to do this is really great. And if you're a distributor, you're going to love working with an importer that already has this, because it's very complicated. You know, who should be in charge of this? And the answer is everyone. It should be something that the entire industry is doing. We should be involved in social media. Oh, and one last thing on that too is millennials are very picky, so if you are involved in social media, it's important that it feels like it's authentically run. I'm going to continue to say these words like story and authentic, but it's true. And so if they ask questions or if they have feedback, it's really important to get back with them quickly. And that is like I said, that's one of those things where you think that you're not going to have, you think that they're just going to move on to the next thing, but if you do this correctly, you'll never lose them.